you guys. Today I am going to be showing you how to make some very fun rainbowy crafts. So this is one of them. It's this fun little fox and it's raining hearts. If you wanted to make this craft and make the hearts go this way so they look more raindrop shaped, that would be a fun idea too. And then this here is done with a white gel pen, which of course I'm not including in the kit. If you don't have one, you may have another color gel pen that may work, or you may go without that. And then of course it has the fun little sentiment inside that says have a happy day. Yay! How fun. I like it. So, and then the other craft is of course, my idea was it was like a window craft. You could like attach it to the window. So for me personally, I'm going to be using some glue. I'm going to be gluing it to the window. You can use a double-sided tape if you would like. I am using a little bit of glue for me personally because I know that from past experience I can just use window cleaner and that will just take it off. I'm just using a little bit of tacky glue and that has worked well for me before. So gonna do it again. Probably a little bit of Mod Podge would also work well because you can always just wash it off. So for those of you wondering how to attach your little hearts to windows and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show you some fun ideas for using the little kit. So this is the kit. When you open it up, this is what you get. So there's a little envelope that goes with the card. I pre-stamped your card base here with a little fox on the front, and then on the inside it says have a happy day. So that it comes with the kit already, so that way you're not stamping anything. And then there's a little packet of the little tiny pieces, and then your rainbow paper here. Yay, so fun. Everyone loves everything rainbow. Well, I love everything rainbow. I assume you are too if you're buying this kit. And then the two pieces here for making your silhouette. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is grab some glue and your scissors. All right, so what I did here is I used this little circle here to make a little umbrella. I'm really into umbrellas and I love everything rainbow, so it just kind of makes me really happy. I just really enjoyed this card. Looking at it, it just kind of brings a smile to my face. I figured it would do the same for you. All right. Okay, so to make the little umbrella, it's not very difficult to do this. So what I did here was I actually just trimmed off not in half, a little bit over halfway. So it looks kind of like this. All right, you have two pieces. All right, and then here what I'm going to do is actually grab a pen. And I'm going to start here at the top in the middle, and I'm actually going to draw a line straight down the middle, all right? And that's going to go straight down, so you have two, you're barely able to see the line, but you have two kind of half, and then you're going to kind of do a curved kind of line here, and a kind of curved kind of line here, okay? So by doing a curved, I know you guys can't see this, but I'm doing kind of a curved line right here to the middle, and then there's a straight line in the middle and then another curved line here to right there, okay? And so what that's going to do is it's going to give me a nice guide for my scissors. I'm going to cut corner here to the first line and kind of a little arch, okay, like that, and I'm going to do that all the way across. All right, and so you want to kind of keep your arches kind of the same height. If you find that you're the kind of person where you cannot keep your arches the same height and you're like all over the place, here's a little trick for you. Draw a little line with your pencil on the back side, and then that way you know how high up to go cut up your little archway. So that's a nice little way to do that, a little trick for you. Okay, so now you have your cute little topper for your umbrella. All right, now your other side here, you're just going to cut this. You can cut it straight if you would like. I wanted there to be a little curve on the end of my umbrella, so you can use your paper here and kind of give yourself a little curve at the bottom. I gave you enough paper to do that. Okay, so because the umbrella topper doesn't really need to be very big, and so this has a nice little curve to it, so it'll go on there like that little guy. And then of course the little umbrella will go on top. So you can make your arches a little bit taller if you want. Kind of depends on what kind of umbrella you're kind of going for. Are there different kinds of umbrellas? I have no idea if there are or not, but I'm going to assume that there are different kinds of umbrellas. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I'm going to glue my little stick on first. My little umbrella stick. I'm going to call it an umbrella stick. And I'm going to match it up with this little hand. Now this, the ink that I use to stamp the little fox is waterproof. So if you get glue on it, it shouldn't move. The ink shouldn't like smear or anything like that. and then I glued the little umbrella down like so. Okay, so he looks like that. Yay! So he's kind of blocking his way out from the rain of hearts here. Now, your little heart collection here, I cut the sheets of paper at the same time. Not all of them, but some of them at the same time. So if you're like, oh, I don't have as many hearts as you. You do, trust me. You might want to just pick your little hearts apart to make sure that they aren't doubled up. Okay? All right, now what I thought would be fun was to do like yellow, and then do oranges, and then do red, and then do purple, and then blue, and then the teal color, and then green. And then kind of filling in and doing like a bunch of like little hearts kind of all the way around. I thought that would be really fun, so that way they're kind of like the rainbow kind of color palette. But you know what? You should be creative and do whatever you want. You don't have to copy me. But if you wanted to copy me, this is what I did. So I just like the idea of having like this little rainbow. I just love everything rainbow, you guys. Or you can mix and match and just kind of glue them down kind of wherever they fit. And so to do this, so I highly recommend, not sure if you guys noticed this, but I'm not gluing these down yet. I highly recommend you stick all of your little hearts down first and then go back and glue them down, because you know what's going to happen is that they are going to, oh, I knew there was at least one hidden back there, because if you don't do that, you're going to run out of space really fast, especially if you're trying to get like the green ones in. The first time I did this, I was like, yeah, it's going great, and then I got to the end and I was like, wow, I have literally no space for green. So just make sure you're aware. You don't need to put very much glue down. I'm just doing a little dot of glue. And when I'm talking about a dot of glue, I'm talking like a tiny little bit. I usually use, for those of you that have problems putting down too much glue, you want to just use the tip of the glue nozzle as the applicator, like literally touching the tip of the glue to your piece of paper. For those of you that do a lot of paper crafting, you're like, Ellie, I do a lot of gluing, obviously. But the reason I bring it up, and I have no offense to any of those kids out there, but I've worked with a lot of kids that use a lot of glue. And it's like, I'm kind of wondering if people didn't explain that you don't need very much glue. And it's okay, I'm not trying to offend anyone, I'm just wanting to help guide you. If you're trying to figure out why your project is warping a lot, it could be because you're using way too much glue. So if you're using a lot of glue and your glue is up here and you're dripping it, you're applying your glue wrong. You should be just applying it with the tip and smearing the small amount of glue around, okay? So, and the reason why you want to do that is so that the glue, one, dries really fast, and two, doesn't make a huge mess. So that's something in paper crafting that I know it seems like such a silly thing to bring up, but you want to make sure you're gluing properly. So, all right, here we go. Tiny little dab of glue works great. And it gives you plenty of time to move your little pieces around if you need to, but then it dries rather quickly, so that way you're not waiting like an hour for your glue to dry. Because you want your glue to dry within like 5 minutes or less. Ideally, like 30 seconds or less. Okay. Alright, just gonna finish up here, get my last couple little hearts on. Now, I don't know about you, but I have some leftover ones, which is totally fine. And I kind of did that on purpose, a little bit of each one, so that on the inside of my card, I can do a couple more. And that just is kind of a fun little thing. I thought that was kind of a cute little add-on. All right. So we have a happy day, and then the outside here. Oh, it's so cute. And then I thought this was kind of a funny little thing you can do is down here, put a little blue one as like a little puddle. I thought that was sweet. All right. Okay. All right. So next thing we're going to do. So I thought that was kind of a fun one. And then, like I said, if you happen to have a white gel pen or really any color of gel pen, this is a nice way to go. And you're going to go ahead and just follow these lines that you drew earlier, and they should match up nicely with your little points there. Okay. Now, for those of you that want a little bit of a guide on coloring the fox, I used a marker. I didn't just use one. I used 2 colors. I used an orange marker and a red marker. Now the orange one, I went in, I colored all of this except for the tip of his tail and his little face there. And again, I just want to remind you, the ink that I used is permanent when dry, which means that it's not going to smear at all when you use your markers. You can also use watercolors if you'd like, or colored pencils. You should use whatever makes sense for you, whatever you're most comfortable with for your coloring. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go with my red, and I'm going to actually add a shadow on the underside of his tail, on the underside of his leg here, his back leg, and under his chin. Okay, and on his back ear a little bit. All right, so I'm adding a red. Okay, do you guys see that where I've added the red and all those little areas there? Now I'm going to go back in with my orange, and I'm actually just going to kind of go over the orange a couple times, kind of close to that red, so that the orange kind of gets a little bit darker as it gets kind of closer to the red. I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyways, it kind of helps blend it out a little bit so it's not so stark. All right, okay, so there we have that. So that's your card. All right, now we are going to go to the other craft. So I'm not going to cut out the entire all of those hearts with you because that would take a really long time, but I am going to show you about doing a silhouette. So now this was the silhouette that I did it earlier. This is me and Taylor. This is me with my big floofy skirt and my little leg because I'm all happy, and this is Taylor with his little hood on because it's raining, and then this is my little stick for my umbrella, and of course my little umbrella topper. Okay, now to do this, all you're going to do for the umbrella top is I literally just drew kind of like a half moon kind of a shape, like kind of like this. All right, so just kind of a half moon. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but it's just a little half moon shape there. And then I'm just going to cut it out, and then just like before, I'm going to find the middle point, draw a line down the middle, and then two kind of half arches. So then that way it's going to give me a nice guide for one, drawing my umbrella lines later, but two, for putting in my little archways right now. Now again, if you need guidance for making your little mini arches here all straight, you can use that ruler technique from earlier. Okay, so then we have your little umbrella top. Okay, and then of course from that piece of paper here, on the side here, this is where your umbrella stick comes into play. All right. So umbrella, stick, and umbrella. All right, now to get the little silhouette, personally what I did, I just drew it. I was like, what do I look like? And I drew a little sketch, and I was like, what does Taylor look like? And I drew a little sketch, and then I just cut it out. So you guys can draw your own doodle, but if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can actually take a piece of paper, an image that you think might look cute as a silhouette, and take a pen and make sure you're working on a surface that's like kind of a little bit squishy surface. This underside here is a piece of foam core, so I know that's a little bit squishy, so I don't mind doing this. And I'm actually just going to trace my image here. And when you're tracing your image, you're thinking about what the silhouette is going to look like. It does not need to be perfect. You don't need to get every single fold line, every single little bend in the little toe and all of that kind of stuff. What you want to make sure that you're getting here are the main shapes, okay? The head, the hair, the wings, because in case you didn't figure it out, I'm doing a fairy. And what's going to happen is it's going to put an indentation into your paper. And once you get that indentation in there, then you will be able to go in and trace it and cut it out. Now, what is kind of cool about this is that the other option is that if you have a really big bold shape, that's easy. But if you don't feel comfortable, you can always cut it out and then trace it. Now, I'm not going to trace this one right now because I'm not going to cut this out because it's going to take some time. But I'll show you the one I did earlier. So I did the same technique. I laid it on my piece of paper and then I cut this out. And so you just have this little fun little fairy girl. So this is the one from earlier, and I thought that was kind of cute. And now this is kind of a fun one because here she doesn't necessarily need to have a giant umbrella here. You may find that as you're making your little creation here, you might want to cut out your silhouette first and then cut out your umbrella so that you make sure that your umbrella matches your silhouette shape. Okay. All right. So now I have my little umbrella guy. All right. I'm going to cut another, whoops, not from that one because I was using that from earlier. I'm going to do this other one. I just want to be kind of cute. We'll see if it's cute or not, or if it's ridiculous. I kind of, since she was kind of holding something kind of earlier in the photo, right? You know, the little wand of some kind. I thought it'd be kind of cute if she was even like holding like an umbrella. Oh, how sweet is that? Okay. All right. So now, and then when you're kind of building your hearts, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fold your paper. Now you can fold, this is just like the classic, super easy way to make hearts. Okay. If you happen to have a die cut machine with heart die cuts, great. Use those. I do have a little ones. That's how these ones were made. But for most people, I'm guessing, don't have a home die cut machine. So to get the most most hearts out of your paper here, you're going to fold it into. You're going to take a third of the paper and fold it over. And then you're going to cut. What I did was I cut 2 of the biggest hearts out of here. All right. Okay. So kind of like this. So then you get a nice shape like that. And then from each of those, so you're going to cut 2 of those out there. So you get the most out of your paper. All right, like that. So of course, I know there's still space left over, but we're going to come back to that. And then, because I want to get as many hearts as possible, I'm sure all of you were like, I already know how to do this, Ellie. Wonderful. This is not new information for you. But this is a great way to get several hearts from one heart, is to cut it again and again and again, right? And so you're just, when you fold it in half and you're cutting another heart out of the center, you of course get your multiple hearts there. So then you can get these tiny little hearts out of there too. Okay. All right. So that is how you do that. And again, from the other side to get the other yellow ones. So it's quite surprising then how many hearts you can get out of a piece of paper. And what I thought might be kind of fun is if you like had a competition with someone else cutting these little hearts, like how many hearts can you get from one piece of paper? Because I was really surprised at how many you could get, because then of course you can fold this in half and then do a whole series of little ones all the way up the side too, right? And then you can cut the middle of those out. So there's a whole lot that you can do there to create your little mini hearts. Okay. Also, I highly recommend, as you're making it, every so often just like open up the heart and make sure you like the shape, because earlier when I was doing this, I did a lot of V's. They're a little on the flat side, but you know what? It works. It works. I made it happen. Okay. It's fine. So anyways. All right. So then you can do that with all your different colors. And then you have your fun little craft. Now, you can use a canvas or a white piece of paper and use some glue and tape it down. I, of course, thought it would be the most fun to put it like in a little window of some kind. And so you could have your little umbrella and your little fairy, however you want to do that. Now, if you're going to lay these down, want to think about like if they're going to be like it's raining down, you want to make sure to, if this is where your line is, that the rain is falling, that you want to make sure to not put your hearts like underneath here, because of course the rain isn't going to go right there, right? And then I wanted to do this just like I did before, where I did my yellow and then I did my orange. I know you guys are like, when did you cut those colors out? Earlier, when I had more time. But you have, in this kit, you will have enough to do all of these. These are all of the different ones I was able to cut out. All from this small little piece of paper there that you saw. Those little pieces of paper here. So the kit plus the yellow piece, you will have all together, and that will make it so that you can cut out a ton of your little hearts. Not this many, because we just cut those out. But all the rest of these, that's how many you get in the kit. So, of course, you have to cut them out yourself. But a fun little activity, and then you can, like I said, attach them to the window with some double-sided tape, or if you feel like using a tiny, tiny little dot of glue, like I said, that's what I used. And it worked well, actually, for quite a while. Of course, when you peel the things off, you can't save them, and you have to use a little bit of elbow grease to pull the glue off of your window. But it does work. So, just an option for you. All right, you guys, those are the crafts for today. Have fun. Thanks for joining me. See you later.